Are you making one of these common mistakes with your webinar funnel? If you have a course or coaching business, a webinar funnel is one of the most effective and popular ways to make money on autopilot. It's a fast way to build trust with your audience, deliver value, and help people see if your offer is a good fit for their needs without you having to actively sell and get on a sales call every single time. You essentially drive traffic to the webinar, and your webinar and follow-up email funnel does the heavy lifting of the sales conversation. Sound great? That is because it is, and it works super well, but it's easy to get them wrong as well. You'd be surprised how many bad examples there are in the wild. So if you're following the dude bro marketers and funnel hacking and trying to copy what others are doing, you could actually be damaging your brand reputation and your sales by making one of these 5 common mistakes. Hey, I'm Nikki Trailer, and I help coaches, course creators, and digital product owners make more money from their products and programs in a way that feels good to them and their audience. Every week, I break down icky and ineffective marketing tactics. Follow along so you can ditch the sleazy tactics one at a time to grow your business with integrity. So how can you make your webinar funnel more effective and less icky at the same time? The first mistake I see frequently is not providing any actual value. And this is because there's this narrative out there where people teach you to give people the why, but not the how. Essentially, tell them what they're doing wrong, but don't tell them how to fix it. This narrative that is really popular in the online space is kind of insulting to your audience. With free content like webinars, you are naturally going to attract different audiences made up of people, some of which like to DIY everything, and some are more willing to invest in hiring you for support. By providing free value, you don't necessarily stop those people who would invest in support from buying, but you also provide a better experience for everyone. Those people who are going to DIY are always going to DIY, so you might as well give them what they need. But the people who want to buy from you can see you're an expert in your field if you actually teach them and show them what you're capable of. If you deliver that value, your audience might actually get better results whether they work with you or not. The more value you deliver, the more people will share your stuff because it's going to make them look good. Humans might seem complex, but at our core, we are simple creatures. We haven't really evolved that much from our caveman days, and one of the main ways that we can tell that is because we still seek approval from our peers, because back when we were cavemen, being part of a crowd actually meant safety. And safety is still one of our most basic human needs. You might be familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and safety is right there near the bottom of the pyramid. By fitting in with our peers, we feel safe, and so that basic human desire for safety and numbers means we're hardwired to share things that we think will improve our status within our society and community. That means things that will entertain or educate others. So if your webinar is full of fluff or doesn't get people a kind of outcome, it's unlikely you'll get either great feedback or you'll get people raving about it and sharing it with their friends. Dare to be better, provide that value, and it'll help you stand out from millions of mediocre webinars that are out there. And that in turn, that is going to be so much better for your business. The next mistake I see all the time is people not being explicit that their webinar is pre-recorded. In an evergreen funnel, your webinar is always going to be pre-recorded. You can't show up live like once or twice a week and do the same thing on different time zones to suit everyone in your audience. And maybe you can, maybe you have more stamina than me, but 99% of the time, this webinar is pre-recorded and your audience aren't stupid. So by pretending your webinar is live, you're patronizing them. You've probably seen webinars where you sign up and you actually have the ability to choose the time that suits you best. So you could choose one either in half an hour or 2 days from now. That's fine as long as you're making it clear on the page that it's pre-recorded, and don't lure your audience to turn up thinking it's live. Add a sentence of copy to tell them the truth and they'll probably be grateful. It sets you off on the right foot with a buying relationship because you're being honest with them, and honesty is always the best policy in business. The next common mistake I see, and sometimes this is related to the tech you choose, is not actually allowing people to watch on demand. So following on from my previous point, if you allow people to choose time slots to watch your on-demand webinar, but don't give the option to watch now, you could actually be annoying your audience. When people sign up to a webinar or a freebie or anything actually, they're at the point of highest intent, which means they're at the point where they're most excited and most likely to take action and actually watch your masterclass. If you picture a graph where their interest is plotted against time, the more time they wait, the lower their interest gets and the less likely they are to watch. You want to grab them while they're most likely to watch because more views equals more sales. It's as simple as that. If they schedule in for a day later, chances are they won't make it a priority in their schedule and so are unlikely to commit time to watching your webinar and soaking up all the value that you're sharing inside. And that also means they're not seeing your offer. This is an easy fix. If you give people on-demand access and send an instant reminder to their inbox with the link, in case they accidentally lose the page, you're way more likely to get more people actually watching the content that you've spent so long creating. Mistake number 4 is not enabling pause, fast forward, rewind, and the option to change speed. I think enabling pause is a no-brainer because what if someone needs the loo, or their phone goes, or they get distracted and miss something important? If you want your audience to not miss a moment, pause and rewind are a must. But when it comes to fast forwarding or speed options, it might seem counterintuitive to give people the option to skip over bits of your training. But some people simply won't watch without the option to skip over bits or at least watch on 2x speed. Shout out to all my fellow 1.5xers. More and more people want to be able to consume content fast. So if you make them watch an hour-long webinar or 30 minutes, you're expecting them to take a lot of time out of their day. And sure, they'll likely get value out of what you're teaching if you follow step number 1, but you want to make sure that they can enjoy it in a way that works for them too. Not to mention, a lot of neurodivergent people, typically people with ADHD, prefer listening on faster speeds because they're able to concentrate better without getting distracted. From an accessibility point of view, I think giving these options is a must. But again, if you've watched any of my other content, you'll know I'm all about empowering your audience to make choices. And so by giving them options, you're allowing them to make a choice and not forcing them to watch in a way that suits you just because you want to get the sale. Not all webinar tech has these options, so I would vet your tech carefully before you set it up and ensure it has all of this functionality before you get too far down the road, because setting it up can be a lengthy process and changing your tech at a later date is actually going to be a bit more of a headache. The 5th mistake I see people make is not actually enabling captions. Not only are captions great from an accessibility standpoint, allowing users with hearing difficulties to consume your content as well, it also means your audience can read if they're more of a visual than auditory learner, and it gives them the option to absorb all of the goodness of your training if for whatever reason they are out in public without headphones or they're watching on the go. If you want your business to be more inclusive, and I'd really encourage you to think about this, I'd say that having closed captions on your videos is a must. When done right, by following these principles, an evergreen webinar funnel can be damn effective and bring in so much revenue for your business. I hope this helps you get more out of your funnel, but if you want more tips on making money on autopilot in your business, you're going to love my next video on the 5 tools to help you increase conversions on your sales page. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more launch strategies you can apply in your business. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.